NEITI, the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, has released a report on Nigeria's solid mineral sector, saying that the sector earned just about $1.4 billion over the last 13 years. A breakdown of that comes to about $107 million per year. That doesn't sound very encouraging. We're going to pick the brain of our esteemed award-winning Arise Business Analyst Chika Mbonu, because he's part of the team. Chika, you're very welcome. Good morning and congratulations on the award.
It's a good day.
It is a wonderful day, so you're very welcome. The mining sector, Chika, that amount, is that doesn't sound like a lot of money.
It's interesting that we're talking about this today, and because Nigeria is a blessed country, and we shouldn't be struggling the way we are struggling. With debt spiraling out of control.
Yes.
And it's really a tragedy when you see that we are blessed. The interesting thing about this is the NEITI that you talked about.
Yes.
Has been producing reports, I think, since 2007.
Yes.
About the state of the solid mineral industry. And it's an interesting read because each year's report and recommendation that you read reads like the previous year's report.
Right.
It tells you, therefore, that no actions have been taken, for this very important, sector. Depending on where you read, we're told Nigeria is blessed with more than 50 solid minerals in very high commercial quantities spread around the country. But because of the cost of oil, the cost of oil, nobody has really paid attention to this sector. From 1903, I'm told, when prospecting started, till the 1970s, tin, columbite, coal, where the core solid minerals that this country was prospecting and living from. But when 1970, when oil boom started, everything went to the back burners. Nobody cared for them again. And so the issues, the report it produced, the $1.4 billion in 13 years, compared to more than 350 billion naira and dollars in oil sector. It's just like a slap in the face, and everything again boils down to, I think it has to do again with, I'm looking for the right word.
Political will?
Leadership.
Leadership, okay.
Holistic leadership.
Okay.
Those who are willing to sacrifice short-term popularity and build that nation and that country that we desire. And I've said it in this program several times that we don't lack planning.
Right.
There's no amount of plan, because reading through those reports, you will see solid mineral something program 1999 solid mineral program. There's so many plans that have been prepared for this. What are the issues? First of all, there's lack of fiscal regime in the sector. You don't know who owns what and how money will be shared and so on and so forth. You have issues of security. Because of that also, a lot of large investors in the sector cannot even come in. Inconsistent government policies in the sector too. Now, so you have a lot of people now who have cornered a lot of the mining licenses, but are not doing anything with it. So the government loses a lot of royalties. Then even those who are producing, who are prospecting, there's no accountability. Just like what we're having in oil, when Nigeria said we don't know how much we even produce. Right. It's something. So royalties are paid based on what the companies feel like, because of course we have too much money in oil. So artisanal mining is another major issue, because you have a lot of artisans. Yes. Mining is you go there. I've taken a trip in some of those mining areas when the country was very decent. When it couldn't just disappear or have to pay ransom. And we see a lot of areas where people are digging, manually with hoes and pickaxes and cutlasses. So artisanal mining is a major thing. But I think that a government that's looking for revenues, instead of going to China and borrowing left and right, should actually focus on this sector. Let us have, a proper structured, program for the mining sector, and give it all the attention it desires. And so that the government is fulfilled and we can make money from it in form of royalties and taxes, for the companies who are presenting this sector.
What do you make of Ghana making over $6 billion in just 1 year? our neighbors next door from their own solid minerals as well.
Yeah, I mean, I the way I can look at it is that, it's like asking me, how can you talk of Nigeria making this amount from oil?
Right.
So gold and not solid minerals are the oil of Ghana, even though lately they found oil,
Yes.
But even though oil has become sort of a cost to them too, so it's like gold, is the anchor program for the country of Ghana, and that's why they're giving it their all, The other issue in this sector is the lack of beatification, beneficiation. Basically, what it is that a lot of the things mined are sold almost raw without improving the quality of them. So the value chain is very low. So just from the mining field, people carry it out Nigeria and go and sell. So there's no local industry supposed, refine those raw materials produced and value on them so that the country can get better values in them. This, I keep saying, 50 solid minerals that are in commercial quantity spread around the country. The time has come, instead of just hustling to China looking for loans, to actually focus on this thing that God has given to us. Be very concentrated and intention about it. So the country can benefit from it.
Chika, I want to jump from mining to livestock. A professor at the Nigerian Animal Science Institute saying that livestock, he's valuing it at 30 trillion naira. Is he exaggerating?
Oh, of course. I mean, a country of 200 million people, land mass. I don't know how much I travel around our country, so you know how big Nigeria is.
Yeah.
Of course, is that it might even be underestimating it. But the issue again is a lot of the livestock production in Nigeria is nomadic.
Yeah.
Nomadic.
Right.
And so the output in the milk and other products, the similar products, is very low.
Yeah.
And so some reports put it out there that Nigeria the consumption is 2.2 million metric tons per annum on dairy products. We produce about 500,000 metric tons. Yeah. So there's a balance of 1.7 million metric tons, which is what? Imported. So Nigeria loses between 1.3 and $1.5 billion every year importing dairy products.
Yeah.
Not surprising, therefore, that in February 2020, the Central Bank of Nigeria, if you remember, brought out a circular and banned the importation of milk into the country and restricted it to only about 6 companies who were going to work with Central Bank, taking loans from Central Bank at very low rates to go back into backward integration and start commercial farming, or commercial dairy farming. Even though we don't know how much that's, because CBN that year said that 2020, the objective was by the end of 2020, we'll move the output for Nigeria from 500,000 metric tons to 550. But there's no subsequent report we have seen in that respect. Yeah. So it's a shame. The consumption of beef expected in Nigeria worldwide is about 4 grams per day. Nigeria is about 43. So we're even below that average. Yeah. So a lot of things can be ascribed. I always say that when governments are very sincere and you pull out politics from it, things progress.
Improve, yeah.
The dairy industry, there were issues of like trying to grow the farms, have established large-scale farms, not the mom and pop thing behind your garden.
Right.
Or cows that are not properly fed. When you make them, you don't get the right quantity of milk. And that's the major issue. So the Central Bank, banned the importation of milk. Remember I said 1.7 million metric tons required to be brought into the country, and then gave it receipt to about 6 companies. So for a long time Nigeria, if you want to talk about importation of milk, milk production, type in some of these names. One, Friesland, Nigerian PLC. Yeah. Since 60 years, I've all been importing milk. Meanwhile, we have the wherewithal to be able to produce that locally.
Yeah, in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. Arise Business Analyst. Chika Mbonu, award-winning, joining us to discuss mining, livestock, agriculture. Yes. Very, very important.
Only Arise.
Only Arise. Thank you so much for your insights, sir.